love laughing at others, but how well do we take jokes directed at us? Anyone will now tell you comedy is serious business, and some of your favorite artists are with us, not just to share a joke, of course, we're going to make sure they do plenty of that so that there's enough bang for our buck, guys, but also tell us what the space is looking like. And for so many of you writing into us asking how you want to make comedy a career, well, who better than them to answer? I'm just going to introduce the panel briefly and then leave it to them to tell us more about themselves. I'm joined by Radhika Vaz here in Delhi, Amit Tandon also with us in the studios, and Neville Shah joining us from Mumbai. And all of them, starting with Radhika, are going to give us short introductions about themselves. Radhika?
Hi everybody who's watching. I am a comedian and I started doing improv comedy, so I didn't start the stand-up route like these guys, but I was doing improv. But the reason I ended up sort of like switching to stand-up was because I wanted to perform in India. I used to live in New York at the time, and it just seemed like it would be easier for a one-person thing to travel rather than with 6 other people. And that's sort of how I stumbled into it. Now I love it.
Oh, super. Great to love your work, right?
Yeah.
Amit?
Hi, I'm Amit Tandon. I'm an engineer, MBA, had a marriage and 2 kids. So basically never stopped making mistakes. So after 10 years of working in the corporate sector, I thought, let me try and make another mistake, but it kind of worked out. So now I'm a stand-up comedian, almost full time.
Right. Neville?
Hi,
what can you say about yourself?
My name is Neville. I am a stand-up comic. I'm also a group creative director at an ad agency, Ogilvy and Mather. That's my day job. I work with a comedy group called SNG Comedy. We do sketch, we do improv, we do some live shows and stuff. Yeah, but that's more or less what we are.
Right. Thanks very much. We get started right away. Amit, now, you keep talking about being the married guy. You're known as a married guy in the comedy space. Now, you've sort of really used that to your advantage, talking about produced by mother, directed by wife. Now, that's a unique space to be in, right, in the comedy world. So how much of your success do you owe to your, this particular...
Yeah, I think 90% of what I am is because of this. Because, see, the thing is, every comic brings their experience and point of view when they start doing comedy. Because it's just about, you've written it, you've experienced it. So, I somehow fell into that space where people started introducing me as the married guy because all my jokes were around it.
Right.
And I think I intend to keep it like that. Probably, married parent would be the next thing I'll do because I'm now writing a lot about my kids.
I see. Okay. So. Radhika, one of the first things that I thought I would ask you when I'm going to stick to my script is that how does one get into comedy? I know that we all love, some of us have a great sense of humor and we love making people laugh. We're also good at it. We all love jokes. But you got into it very seriously. You came all the way from New York to India to sort of look at the comedy space here. What is it like? What was it like when you came and what was the response?
The one big thing for me is I didn't come from stand-up to stand-up. I came from improv to stand-up. So that was sort of the difference, 2 countries and 2 completely different sort of types of comedy. So I think for me, it was just really interesting to come into such a new space because in New York and in lots of parts of the West, comedy has been around for so long. And, in a way, I personally felt there was more opportunity because it was a new space. And also I noticed that there weren't that many women doing it. And in that way, I've certainly been right. It is a new space. There's a lot of opportunity. There aren't that many women doing it. And so I've been able to work more because of that. But... I don't think I've answered the question.
That's fine. I think I've got what I wanted. There are going to be lots more questions to answer. Neville, if I could ask you, you have a day job. Like you said, you work with O&M. Now, both for Radhika, I think, and Amit, comedy is largely what you do. You spend most of your day with this or things around this. You haven't deviated. You've got something completely different. Why is that? Are you hedging your bets?
I'm not hedging my bets. I am an insomniac. I sleep 3-4 hours a night. So for me, it's not a problem.
That's you and Shah Rukh Khan.
Sure, except the level of success is different. The thing with advertising is that it's something that I love to do. I love advertising. It's not like it's a career because for the sake of it. But also, I have a family. I need money, and advertising pays the bills really. And with comedy, the kind of comedy I do, I don't get as many corporate shows as
I see. Right.
a lot of comics.
Right.
And that's also because I won't stoop, not because you have
Oh,
to. I don't have
okay.
I don't have an easy step.
Okay.
I don't have an easy set at all. Most of my set does have foul language, does have concepts that might not work at corporates.
So what's the aim?
That doesn't mean I don't do corporates.
Let me just interrupt you. Sorry, Neville. First you and then Radhika. What is the idea of doing it this way? Is it? Let me just try and get into the mind of an artist. Are you sort of trying to shake them up into a response, shake them up into thinking, going the laughter route? Is that a plan? Is this according to a plan, or is it just the way you are?
No, so it's not about shaking anybody up or anything. I just talk about what I want to on stage. It's like Radhika was saying earlier, before we started, saying that I talk about what I want to. I have the comfort of another job. And when I say I don't want to stoop, I don't mean as a comedian. I don't want to talk about what corporates want me to talk about.
Right.
Ki Delhi pe joke maar, Bombay pe joke maar, talk about Gujaratis, talk about Parsis, whatever. I don't want to do that. I'll do what I need to do. And also it is a let out for me. I mean, at the end of the day, advertising is a job and it comes with its set of frustrations.
Right.
And when I do stand up, I don't.
This is how you
I don't
vent
have
them.
to really censor myself. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm just going to get Radhika and Amit in. Now, do you sort of ever worry? Like, do you sort of need a fallback plan? He has one. Like, he's sort of being honest. It pays the bills. Does one sort of need to have it? At what stage do you say, no, I don't need it, it's okay, I'm okay where I am, I'll be safe?
Yeah, see, I'm 42. So I've been working, I mean, I had a job like he did in advertising actually for a very long time. Okay. And I only quit that several years ago. I don't have children, so I don't have anyone to take care of but myself. But you do need the money. And this is not an area that pays you very well unless, like Neville pointed out, you have you get a lot of success with corporate shows or a lot of success with very large sold out shows and stuff like that. And all of that takes a lot of time to build. So you do need the money. And I completely support anyone who has a day job. And I also completely support anyone who's managed to crack the whole corporate show thing with their material the way it is. Because that means that you're doing the material you want to do and you happen to be making a good living out of it.
Right, right.
See, for me, it's very different. Like, I run
You have responsibilities, unlike,
I have a business also. So, for me, it's been like, when I'm spending a lot of time in comedy, there's some loss that I am incurring on my business side. But it's still kind of around there. But yes, somehow corporate shows have been good for me. So today, I can spend like 80% of my time here and my 80% of my earnings can come from comedy. That's where I am. So, for me, it's that way it's been good. I think if you are, it's at different stages. Like, so if you are a bachelor, for example, and a lot of 21, 22-year-olds are getting into comedy. Seriously speaking, how much money do you need?
Right.
Like, if you want the kind of money a software developer would make in the first year of his job, I think you can make that kind of money within 1 year in comedy. You can start making that kind of money. Even just doing pub gigs, you don't even have to think about corporate shows. But if you are thinking that, I really want to make great money, it will take you 4 to 5 years. And
you will get there if you're good.
Yeah.
Again, I guess
if you're good, you'll get there.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Now, comedy is actually quite subjective. There are times when I see, acts by all of you and I am sort of either rolling on the floor and I'm wondering why the audience isn't quite getting there. Now, Radhika, first to you, with your work, very often I can see that you have something in mind, perhaps let them think on these lines. This is what I want to say to them.
Yeah.
Is it sort of frustrating? I mean, how does it work when you sort of don't get the response that perhaps you anticipate, and you've got a lot of work around that in your act? How do you sort of deal with that?
You just deal with it. I mean, it's
Like
the audience.
grin and bear it.
Yeah, you grin and bear it, man. Because the audience is just this live organism that's they're going to do its own thing, and you don't have control over it, which is what's fun about doing what we do, right? Like we have no idea what the outcome will be. And sometimes I can look into the audience and I see 60% women, 40% guys. It's going to be a good show, just based on the material that I tend to put out. But then I've been surprised where I've had these big groups of men who have come alone to the show. I know how that's happened, even like that they've stumbled into my show accidentally. And it's been a great show. So there's no way to judge. And as a performer, one of the things you learn as a professional performer is that you can't allow the audience energy to to spoil your show.
Sure.
You can, if it's good energy, you can write it and make it a
Correct.
bigger and better.
Super show,
but if
right.
it's not coming to you, you still have to produce enough energy to
Right.
keep it going for
Right.
the 10 or 15 people who may be getting it.
Right,
So for
exactly.
the Natasha and the audience, I can't let you down by being like, well, everyone else doesn't like my show.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
going to leave.
Yeah.
No, I have to do this show for you because
Yeah.
you want to
Okay.
watch the show the way it is.
Okay. Neville, respond here. If I can just ask you to come in. How difficult is this to do?
You just have to work harder if the audience is not getting it. I mean, you'll do
Does
the
that
same
happen?
set.
Let
We've
me
all
ask you,
been-
does that happen?
Of course it does. It happens across the board. It depends from city to city, from show to show. You really don't know what you're going to get. Sometimes you get a bar gig that is so great that you'll be like, but these guys are drunk. How are they even getting it? But in
And
each
just for
show,
the
you
benefit
just
of our
have to-
viewers, just for the benefit of our viewers, an auditorium show is perhaps where we expect the sort of more informed and sort of a certain class of audience. Is that what we mean when we say an auditorium show?
The time there.
I would define it as they're coming there to watch comedy.
I see.
As opposed to a bar show where they're coming to watch comedy, yes,
Or
but
anything.
also to unwind and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's that. An auditorium show is no distractions. They're coming specifically to watch the people on the poster.
I see.
And they're coming to watch comedy.
Yeah.
So you expect those shows to anyway be better.
Yeah.
I
You
don't
sweat a
really
lot
love
more.
that
That's
much.
really what it is.
Okay.
I don't. Like once for me, I'm one of those people who, and I used to read about comedians who like, well, we read the room and then we change everything. I'm like, not me, man. I can learn one set
change
and that's
everything,
about
yeah.
that. And once the set is learned, I will perform it as well as I can.
Right.
I will try not to be distracted by the negative hate energy coming from the audience. But that's the set they're going to get.
So take it or leave it.
Pretty much.
Right. Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
on the other end of the spectrum. I change a lot depending upon the audience,
I
the response. So,
So you
I
improvise
could-
as you go along, depending
Yeah,
on
so
what's up.
see, for me, the thing is, they've come in to see stand-up. Like hers is an act, like it's a 1 hour show which has a certain script also. So it's tougher for her to change. In my case, if I see that the audience response is not good on, let's say in English, they're not getting English, I'll move to Hindi more. Okay.
Right, okay.
They're not getting the more, intelligent jokes, you move to the easier ones.
I see.
So I'll do that. For me, the thing is, if they've spent 500 rupees, my job is to ensure they get the best out of it.